Hi everyone, in today's episode we're speaking with Nadav Steinmetz, founder and CEO at Nomea Ventures. Nomea is a UK-based climatetech fund that invests in transformative technologies that advance the transformation to net zero emissions. They particularly focus on startups within the UK, Europe and Israel ecosystem and invest in both early and late stage companies, helping them grow into highly profitable and successful enterprises. It was fascinating to talk with Nadav. He's a Franco-Israeli, yet spent much of his career in the US and the UK, and first considered impact when he founded an NGO as a student. 2 years ago, he left the financial sector to found Nomea Ventures and truly focus on climate tech on the premise that it was the sector that would provide the most impact. In founding Nomea Ventures, Nadav became an expert in battery technologies. He takes us on a journey during the show across the global battery market in an attempt to understand what are its main drivers, what it would take for Europe to catch up on the Asian market, and how batteries can become more sustainable amidst this electrification revolution. In doing so, we learn more about Nomea Venture and their founding premise, what type of investment they make, what they are excited about, and how you can get involved. In the second part of the show, Nadav explains 2 tips for founders who are fundraising. He also gives a controversial opinion on why work-life balance is overrated. Nadav, welcome to the show. Thank you. So let's go quickly for the second part, if you have 5 more minutes. In that section, I'd like to hear a little bit your point of view in terms of any tips or advice that you would give to early stage climate tech founders seeking to fundraise and pitch you. I mean, things that you don't find on a Google search, like what works, what doesn't work for you when you're sitting on one side of the table and they're sitting on the other side.
There are several things that I'd like to mention. One is in climate tech, we're talking quite a lot about hardware companies, deep tech. So it's not just software companies who are building a certain platform that doesn't require a lot of money and it's not capital intensive. Now, when you're building a product that requires substantial amounts of money, you need to have access to non-dilutive capital. And this is a message that I always share with our portfolio companies, applying for grants, because there's much better climate legislation all over the world, so the process is easier. It's still not easy, but there's many freelancers who do those types of things and help you in the application process. So this is one. Non-dilutive capital can go a long way. 2, one of the lessons and piece of advice that I give to entrepreneurs and founders is that it's very important to know your climate impact, to be able to quantify things. Again, if you're a pre-seed or seed stage company, then it's still early days and you have to make several assumptions, but you want to show to investors that you're thinking about those types of things, that you're aware about your climate impact potential, what is the target of your technology and what you want to achieve. So I think these are 2 types of advice that I would give. Again, I have others, but I think this should be a good start.
Any tips in terms of work-life balance? I mean, you're upcoming dad. You look like a pretty busy man, but still with a high energy and big smile on your face. So if you have any maybe 1 or 2 tips that you use for yourself that you could share for others?
I'm going to say something controversial, and it's possible that now you're not going to invite me to another podcast in the future, but I don't believe in work-life balance. I think that in order to build amazing products or anything that you do in life, you have to be super committed. So again, it's very important to invest time with your family, with your loved ones, to have hobbies. I do it as well. But I wouldn't ask myself too many questions about work-life balance. You have to be super committed about what you do. You have to dream about it at night. You have to wake up in the morning with the urgency to get into the office, and you have to go sleep at night when you have so many problems and things that you think, oh, I wasn't productive enough today and I should have done ABC. This is what I think is very important, especially in the early days when there's nothing that you can do that will be enough. You have to feel in your bones that you're on a mission and that nobody can stop you. And in that process, you'll face many challenges, but your determination will play a central role in whether you can achieve this or not.
Any books, podcasts, show that you read or listened or watched recently that you would recommend to founders in general or investors or in the climate tech or just in general?
In terms of books and podcasts, there is a few quite famous ones that I really love. And I go back to them sometimes just to refresh my memory. In terms of books, so Speed and Scale of John Doerr from Kleiner Perkins, I think it's fantastic. It really gives a concrete plan of how to decarbonize our economy. It's quite practical and inspiring at the same time, which I love. Another book is How to Avoid a Climate Disaster or a Climate Crisis by Bill Gates. Fantastic book. I'm always impressed, by his level of knowledge and understanding of things in life. Podcast, there is one. So there's MCJ, My Climate Journey, super famous. There's another podcast that I'm a huge fan of, is Catalyst with Shale Khan of EIP. He's one of the partners on Energy Impact Partners. He's super knowledgeable about climate tech. In every podcast, he interviews someone else from a different industry in climate, and however it's possible, in 1 hour, but he's doing a high-level deep dive, let's say, into new vertical in climate every time. So from long-haul transportation to heavy industry to ag and food, he's talking about policy. It's super interesting, so I highly recommend it. Catalyst with Shale Khan.
Thank you so much, Nadav, for your time, incredible insights, and really all this effort and energy that you put to support climate tech founders and helping them to build a better and cleaner world. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much, Guillaume. It's been a pleasure.
Hi, it's Guillaume again. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. As I said, do not hesitate to share an episode with a friend. Also, if you value the work we do for the climate tech ecosystem, here is how you can contribute to it. Today, I'm asking for your support and a donation or sponsorship to make the work of our self-funded team more viable. Even a small contribution means a lot to us. In any case, I will invite you to subscribe to our channels and visit our website startupbasecamp.org to discover more episodes like this one. And get your membership to access all our members' exclusive content. So remember, all of this is possible because of your support and donation. And we want you to be part of this collective movement against climate change. Let's keep in touch, and I hope you will enjoy our next show with us.